Okay, guys, you probably think I'm crazy. This is example 3 in lesson 1-7, and we're going to do even more with absolute values and inequality than we have before. But here's the good news. Remember, the rules don't change. If you can remember those crazy things that we learned about inequalities and you remember the crazy things that we learned about absolute value, then these two things, the absolute value inequalities, will kind of go together. You'll kind of see what we're talking about here. Okay, so this is a basic, simple inequality involving absolute value. Here's what we need to understand. Just like equations, this thing has to have two solutions. It's got to equal two different things because it's absolute value. Here's how we're going to do this, though. There's a special trick in here. There's a special thing we have to do mathematically. Just like we switch the signs when we multiply or divide by a negative in an inequality, we have more to do whenever we look at absolute value. So the rule for this is take your absolute value. When you get down to a simplified version, this one's already simplified. It's x is less than 3. The absolute value of x is less than 3. You're going to write two things. First thing you're going to write is exactly what it says, just like we did before. So it's going to say x is less than 3. Easy part. Notice all I did? Take away the absolute value signs or symbols. That's what I did last time. And we also have to know that x, and this is where it gets weird, is we have to flip the sign. It's now going to be greater than, and we have to make this positive turn into its opposite. So instead of positive 3, the opposite of positive 3 is negative 3. So therefore, it has to be this. Now, that's your two answers. So x can be less than positive 3 and greater than negative 3. What's that mean? Here's what it means. I'm going to throw this onto a number line for you so you can see it. So here's my number line for inequalities. This is how we graphed them before when we did inequality equations. When we just did inequality, not the equation, just inequalities. Here's what we do. Here's negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. So here's positive 3, here's negative 3. I always indicate 0 so you can see where it's at. This says x is less than 3. Less than indicates to me I have to have an open circle over there, and it's everything that goes less than. However, this one says x is greater than negative 3. So there's my open circle. So if this one goes this way and this one goes this way, the only thing that works are any of the values that are between these guys. So when I actually write my answer, when I can write this truly as an and statement, here's what I do. X, now I'm going to read this backwards. We learned this in inequalities, so just follow me here. X is greater than, because the x is over here, and I'm reading it backwards, the greater than symbols with x. So x is greater than negative 3. Always read your variable first. X is less than positive 3. Read your variable first. X is greater than negative 3. X is less than positive 3. That's what's happening right there. This is how you would write it correctly. Now, what else do I need to do? Always check it. Pick a number in there. Put 0 in there. 0 is greater than negative 3. 0 is less than positive 3. Therefore, it satisfies both absolute values. And you also notice that the distance from 0 this way is 3, and the distance from 0 that way is 3. So there you are with your absolute value. So I understand that we're getting a lot of this and we're throwing a lot of this at you. But I hope it's becoming more clear and kind of you understand it a little bit better. Okay, we'll get to a couple more here, and we're going to have a little extra time on these lessons, so don't panic.